Hey everybody, clearing. So I'm kind of holding my head weird. A little birdie told me to wear this flower today and it's just kind of perched there. So anyways, it's probably gonna fall out, but that's what we get because I don't have any way to tie it in spot. Okay, so I so much love all of you who have commented on the community page for extra questions that you'd love to get into for some readings. So I'm going to try and go down the list, and once I select your question from that list, if you want to keep commenting over there, I'm happy to keep looking at those comments and choose some things. I've selected 2 of them today. One of them is how can Source support us in more practical ways? And also how can we stay grounded in the 3D when there's so much subconscious activity going on in this journey? So yeah, I'm gonna pull some cards for the first one. How can Source support us in more practical ways? How can we apply connection to Source in very grounded and practical ways? Then I'll reframe a question for the other as well. What is it we can see? Thank you, Divine Creator. On this twin flame journey, what are some practical applications of connection to Source? So emotionally, what is a practical example that we can draw on from Source? Wow, Divine Feminine, Queen of Wands, and Empress. Blocked vision. So this is grace and ease, and this is abundance. I'm just going to hold those there. So emotionally, we've got this blocked vision. I'm just literally hearing, don't forget to ask, to be shown how to navigate and flow through life with grace and ease, and how to bring in abundance. Pray, choose love over fear. So this is a beautiful message because it takes our free will to access grace and abundance. This is like my martial artist level navigation, like where you could think of Disney princesses, really, man, woman, whatever, it doesn't matter here, but that idea that all of nature, all of the elementals rise up to help you, that the world and the existence is benevolent, that when you're in this zone, when you're in the splendor, because you've cultivated choosing love over fear systematically until it becomes a way of life. That is a prime example of navigation on this level. So a perfect practical advice, always choose love over fear. If you don't know what the loving choice is in any given situation, ask the divine to show you understanding. Ask straight out, what is the loving choice in this matter? In this decision, what is the love-filled choice for me? Which direction do I go here in the name of love? Just remembering to ask becomes its own reward. It's the forgetting to ask or being too consumed with the concerns, the fear even. So just having that choice and that very simple practical application, remembering to say to yourself, is my decision love or fear here? Which one am I actually defaulting to? Which one am I choosing? Try it out. Try it out. Okay, so let's do... That actually does cover kind of mind space, but let's see consciously what else we can get. Practical advice. Open your heart. Stay open. I think I just posted something on the community page too about healing is opening the heart and boundaries up. That wasn't how it was worded. Silly, but opening your heart. You don't want to close your heart off. This is the card of a heart wall. In the reverse, it's opening your heart, not being jaded, not being pessimistic, but setting healthy boundaries so things can't come in and rock the boat because you know what's what. Okay, one more. Physical level. What can we know for practical advice regarding spirit? Oh, my rose is gone. Two of Pentacles. Again, make the changes that you're led to make in the name of love. You know, like, it's one thing to discern these things and see them emotionally and utilize your emotions to feel into what the loving choice is or the fear-based choice, so you can go in the direction of ease and abundance. But making those systematic choices in your everyday physical life to follow through. This is the due diligence. So keep your heart open, keep your protection, grounding, clearing motions happening in your life. So if you don't know what protection, grounding, and clearing is, you know, it's letting go of things that aren't yours. I use this selenite wand, but honestly, it's just sort of a ritual. It doesn't hold power in itself, really. It's just a indicator that we've gone into sacred space. It's just a symbol, right? So whatever symbol you need to use for clearing, or, you know, it's just something to tweak your memory so that you remember to do it on a regular basis. You can even just set an intention that things clear. I have the intention that every time I use my card decks, they are self-clearing, for instance. And I'm drawn to different decks because they're laying in wait for the potentials for that person, and the energy that I use a deck for consecutively, I don't need to do anything to clear the cards. It just all works together. But I've cultivated that, and the faith and the discipline to experience my reality that way. So grounding, that's when you give yourself a reality check. You tap back into spirit, back into source. You can do it physically by putting your feet on the ground, literally bare feet on the ground, running water over your hands, something to clear energy, or you can just intend it. Intention is the main line to the divine, straight to source. So yeah, really beautiful. And, you know, protecting yourself. Don't put yourself in scenarios that your intuition says not to. Don't let yourself down like that. Protection goes further than that as well, because the higher frequencies you access, the more you're just not in the vicinity of the things that will bring harm. It's not denial, it's not avoidant necessarily, it's just you no longer need those lessons. And so you come with your own protection. Our reality responds to us, and our connection to source is interactive and highly intimate for every single person. There are as many ways to access connection with source as there are people or beings that desire to connect with source. The operative word is desire to. It's a free will choice. Only you can decide to do it, and it is about you willing that, choosing that. Okay, big stuff. So how do we stay grounded in the 3D when experiencing so much subconscious activity? That's a cool question. I wonder if we can also take the word subconscious and expand that to include metaphysical, so ultra conscious or extra conscious, possibly could be a couple of words. Multidimensional, interdimensional, all of those intangible levels of energy. So when we're experiencing so much energetic stimulus, how can we stay grounded? Let's get 3 cards for that as well. Oh, and I apologize, I did mention I was going to do a Divine Feminine bit in yesterday's reading, and I got into the masculine read and did not do that. So let's see if we can combine the two today. But how do we stay grounded in the 3D when experiencing so much subconscious activity? I'm going to go right into the subconscious one, and then I'm going to expand that to be multidimensional energetics. Okay, for the subconscious portion though, seal of indivisible. Oh my gosh, I gotta stay grounded. I've got so much subconscious stuff coming up right now. Seal of indivisible visions, psychic vision, hidden meanings, and dream reading. That is such a subconscious salute, isn't it? So psychic vision, ask source. You know, the more spiritual you become, the more practical and realistic. I swear. That's what happens. And so as you become more spiritually aligned, meaning you cultivate the discipline to actually connect with source, as we saw some of the practical advices, the practical advice. The energy is so weird today, everybody. Please forgive me. I'm a bit tongue-tied and a little bit clumsy with all of this. So and a bit giddy, I have to say. There's some interesting energy. Tell me in the comments if you're experiencing that or if it's just me. I know we do have an astrological blue moon with another full moon in Aquarius. I'm an Aquarius. Maybe that has something to do with it. But it's doing funny things to me, let's just say. But yeah, subconscious activity. You get grounded with subconscious activity when you befriend it, when you understand it. You can actually harmonize and unify your subconscious and your conscious mind when you do your shadow work, when you bring that all to light, when you understand the things your dreams are teaching you, when you learn to read omens, signs, and synchronicities. Many of us on the twin flame journey are walking in miracles, walking in signs and synchronicities. And that is all part and parcel of the conscious expansion on this journey, and you know, with humanity in general, with the ascension on the planet. But getting accustomed to understanding the symbols that the subconscious is trying to bring to light is a really good way to do it. That's how you stay grounded. If your subconscious experiences are overriding your 3D experiences, you're meant to be getting some of the information and the wisdom in the proper context and integrating it. So it might just be that on your spiritual journey, you are getting a growth spurt and you're meant to deepen, meaning push through into a added layer of the subconscious for your benefit. So don't fight it, don't resist it, ask it what it's there for. Ask it what it is there to show you, is the message I'm getting. Beautiful. I feel like I kind of blundered through that, everyone, and I don't edit. So, ta-da! It's the real me. Surprise. Okay, let's dive in. Actually, let's do a little Divine Feminine check-in. I'm just going to quickly ask the Divine Feminine Collective, what are the Divine Feminine thoughts on the reading yesterday? What can we know, Divine Feminines, about the elephants in the room? Is there anything that, after having slept on it, Divine Feminine Collective, you would like to say about yesterday's reading? So for those who haven't seen it or don't want to go see it, there appears to be something that the Divine Masculines are picking up on that the Divine Feminines aren't voluntarily bringing up as a elephant in the room. And so there seems to be this, like, jury is out whether or not this thing is of importance to the DMs, but the DMs are realizing that there might be something that the Divine Feminines haven't talked about or don't know what to say. So here we go. Yeah, well, the moral of the story is love. The punchline, all of this, the love. But right now there is something. Divine Feminines are feeling trapped and powerless and kind of isolated trying to bring up just the inability to have clear communication with you, Divine Masculine, not feeling like they can bring anything to you and not face some sort of avoidant, dismissive, triggering event that happens. So this can be expressing the love, talking about things that haven't felt good to the Divine Feminine, misunderstandings, anything that might potentially rock the boat. The Divine Feminines do not feel comfortable bringing that to you, which might not be all bad. Until communication flows easily, it's maybe advantageous to be working on ourselves. But there is a loneliness in this. This is a separation kind of energy when we feel like we haven't got the choice to bridge the gap and communicate. These two cards are about fairly isolated, disempowered energy. There's a lot of free will choice here. This is the card of free will choice, and this is the card of feeling trapped and powerless. It's all mindset, it's all communication dynamics, but because of the history here, or something that's transpired in the recent past, there has been a wall put up where the Divine Feminines don't feel like they have the in with you, Divine Masculine, to be frank, to be honest, to be earnest in this situation. And they feel like you straight up might need to love yourself more, Divine Masculine, and come into an energy of further surrender. The Divine Feminines feel that you need to come into more safety within in order to really become more productive. So this is the feminine desiring, I want to say partnership. I think we're touching on what the feminine idea of partnership, beyond idea, the knowing that communication is essential and necessary, and that it's a team effort, that there are things that can create grounding in love here. Okay, let's do the daily Divine Masculine reading. Oh wow, I'm being told to use the Starseed Oracle for energetics. I love it when that happens. It doesn't always happen for either twin, but when it does for the Divine Masculines, I very much get the idea that the masculines are in a growth spurt, an energetic growth spurt, so I'm excited to see what's coming through. All right, thank you, Divine Creator, for showing us what are the Divine Masculines thinking about the connection at this time. They are being still and knowing, healing after third-party heartache, after some kind of an impasse. 4 of Wands, 1111, Union card, stability, integrating the concepts of union, integrating the feeling of union, integrating the desire for union, seeing the light, knowing. Yeah, we're getting Justice in the reverse, so the Divine Masculines, little bonus messages there. Divine Masculines, yeah, there we go. We're seeing that this union is a desired preference, that it is not where it could be. Communication about that, possibly. When healing happens. Oh, it's just, it keeps coming up. On the bottom of the deck. That's lovely. I sometimes peek at those things, but I don't often feel led to share. Okay, and Starseed Oracle. Thank you, Divine Creator, for bringing through exactly the clarifiers needed for what the masculines are thinking and feeling, wishing and doing, challenged by, and the solution and where things are going. What are they thinking? What are you thinking, Divine Masculines? Judgment. This is an awakening card. It's in the reverse. It's also a card of karma. Karma clearing, like resurrection, second chances, the revelation. All of those juicy biblical end times. The end game. We're in the end game here, where the trumpets are sounding and the veil's being lifted, and we're seeing the truth of things. This is in a becoming motion, and we're getting Sirian Stargate, transcendence, prayerfulness, and serenity. This is the peace that comes in when we see, I'm hearing the error of our ways, and we say no more to that. So the masculines are, no longer keeping score. This is the serenity prayer. We've been getting it for divine feminines over and over and over again in the last few weeks. And divine masculines, the scales are balancing. You are also being asked to really pull your energy in, focus on what is within your control, what isn't, and cultivating the wisdom to know the difference between the two. Your eyes will continue to be opened about this connection, about your life, about what it means to be realized as a spiritual being, and to navigate free from future karmas, negative karmas. We can bring abundance and splendor and walk in those miracles when we cultivate that alignment. But this is the exiting out of those templates that have brought shock and awe, or surprise devastation, or anything that keeps pulling you back down, right? This is the key to coming up and out of it, and it relates to the twin flame journey, because the twin flame journey is this beautiful glimpse into relationship and these dynamics as they apply to relationship. It's a specific specialization. Not everyone goes through a journey of ascension and mastery regarding relationship, but the twins do. So this is very applicable regarding free will from the divine masculines, looking at what is on them and what is the DF accountable for, or their divine counterpart. So this is beautiful because, I got a few comments yesterday regarding the masculines apparently not saying sorry, or not thinking that there's anything to apologize for. That reading was really touching on coming into the awareness that communication can be a productive, tender, and loving, like tender, loving kindness motion rather than a fearful thing. And this is about knowing accountability beautifully, being trustworthy. This is really touching on the actual energy of being trustworthy. And so divine masculines are getting into that frequency where they really see what is on them. Accountability, trustworthiness. What are the masculines feeling on the heart space? Eight of Swords in the reverse. This is wanting to free their mind. Divine masculines wanting to spread those butterfly wings and fly in this connection, not wanting to hold back. This is the chrysalis phase. I always draw the correlation between COVID and isolation and, social distancing and a chrysalis phase of becoming. But we are getting our wings. We're going to be coming out more and more as the new improved version, the ascended version of ourselves. And Starseed Awakening, Cosmic Heritage, Galactic Remembrance. This is a very twin schematic. It's the particle and wave theory. I just heard supernova. So the divine masculines understand that when they become this butterfly, that then they will be this cosmic template. That's when they reach their full potential. divine feminines, or at least the potential that they want you to fall in love with. You know, the potential that maybe you, of anyone, has already seen, glimpsed. But divine masculines are really big on the 3D and seeing is believing. So they want to come out of this cocoon, the splendorous them, and that's when they will feel like they'll believe you when you say you love them. That's when it's the right time to reciprocate. Nice. Okay, what? Oh, and I'm just being drawn to this remembrance. I'm getting like almost timeless waves to that love at first sight, the knowing all along on this twin journey that the love is there. You know, so many at this time are asking, did my person ever really love me? Do they love me now? Does my person have love for me? Yes. But until they reach their full potential in their own right, they're not going to be truly receptive or ready, because they know, they sense where it could be, and they don't want to limit it. They don't want to hold it back. They don't want to play small, like karmic situations suck us into playing small, right? We don't keep growing when we connect with somebody before we are us. It's stifling. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there. That could be another whole hour. So, galactic remembrance. There is a really big influx of cosmic energy coming in, and I'm being shown this 22. Possibly it's a really big Schumann resonance day. I don't know, I just feel such intense energies coming in. What are the masculines wishing for today? Heartwave resonator, ecstasy, rapture, flux, amplification. I'm hearing they really want to merge with you, divine feminine. This is my card of codependency when it comes out in the reverse like this. And so they're getting quite eager to just melt into you. But again, this is that fully ready energy or not. Spreading the wings. It's not quite there yet, so they're wanting to. They're using that as motivation. They're using the inspiration here as motivation to come into their own, so that you can really get to know each other, I'm hearing. Dialing in their lives and the circumstances of their lives so that they can explore the connection, I'm hearing. What actions are being taken? Consciousness, beginning, and faith, hydrogen atom. Taking things down to the essential, to the baseline. Reducing, downsizing, minimizing. Letting go of everything that is not essential in order to build back the appropriate prosperity and growth. So for many, this was the result of leaving karmic situations where things had to be divvied up and there was a downsizing. For some, this is energetically looking at where they've been overcompensating or withholding and getting back to a base level so that healthy boundaries and proper rate of development can be included going forward in the right directions. Priorities, correct priorities according to what is actually beneficial. There's been a lot of untethered exploration by all of the twins in these highly renegade light working missions. I do want to say that we are independent thinkers, aren't we, twins? And it's stunning the things that we get up to and the innovations that we bring into the world as we play and maneuver and explore. And I heard rejoice in being alive and just doing us on our terms. We are completely giving permission to other beings to do the same, to live that free and explore the boundaries, the known boundaries of the universe, you know, and model the options available through creative, alive living. You know, we don't want to settle for stagnation in relationships. We are the crew that says, why be in a relationship if it's not going to be fun and loving and alive? So we're working that puzzle. What is the biggest challenge for the masculines? Finishing cycles, closing out things of the world. Temple of perfected essence. Divinity, honor, responsibility, and humility. This is a deep satisfaction or dissatisfaction in the reputations of the world and spiritual reputation. Spiritual reputation is a resonance that precedes a being of light and love. Worldly reputation are things that we think will gain external approval for external approval's sake, not because our heart is singing. So the masculines are continuing to understand that humility is true greatness, and that these heartwarming, I heard exuberant, heartwarming exuberance that comes in with aliveness and true spiritual freedom is what it feels like. I'm just hearing embodiment. Divine masculines are working on embodiment. And that really is the with every cell of my body energy that the masculines have been called into the perfection of, to love with every cell of their body, because it is written on the quantum baseline of their heart and soul to do so. Perfection, perfected essence. I said essence here with the hydrogen atom. Perfected essence is no pretense, no pretending. It's total honesty, authenticity at the deepest, deepest levels. And the divine masculines are the ones working on love to that degree. What is the challenge, or sorry, the spirit guidance for that challenge? Father of Wands in the reverse, and adenine and thiamine, duality, contrast, trust, and balance. Here we get that word trust. We got that right at the beginning, where the masculines were learning how to trust themselves, because they clearly were starting to really dial in what is on them and what is on another person. When we know what we're each accountable for, that's when we can actually promise or give our word. That's when our yes can be yes and our no can be no. That's when we can actually enter into relationship with another and be trustworthy, sure-footed, authentic. Wow. So the masculines know they're not quite there yet. They're still experimenting and still downloading and still observing and still trial and error, living it, proving the theory, testing it out, exploring. They're still doing that. Don't be afraid of it. Anyone, don't have guilt and shame. It's not reckless. We're too accountable. We're too love-filled for it to be reckless. Trust. Trust that your twin has wisdom, that they're navigating with wisdom. If you are truly on the twin flame journey, soften your heart and honor that your beautiful divine counterpart is stunningly aware and has their reasons for doing things. And as we're seeing today, it has a lot to do with trustworthiness and sincerity. So keep doing that, divine masculines. This is the way to perfect it. Practice makes perfect. Wow, where is the energy going? The Hierophant. I heard rewriting the gospel. And dimensional planes of perception number 2, portals, possibilities, and options. This is the embodiment, and see the lightning bolt. This is the direct channeling from the divine. This is the Pope in many cards. It's the Godhead in flesh. Represents that. And this is the more shamanic personal embodiment energy. But you know, when we come into genuine mastery, we can access these portals, potentials, probabilities, options on the fly based on the probabilities of the moment, when we're truly on point because we have come into the zone. We see things in real time and we're navigating on the fly, and it's good for us. It's good for those involved in it. And it's so fully alive because it's fresh in every moment. Beautiful. That's where energy is going. Free flow. So that completely relates to the first message of how do we utilize practical application of these strategies and spirit of source. This is the result. This is the direction. So if you've heard all of those first messages and then this masculine message, feminines, masculines, this is stunning. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's get one more card for each. For some reason I'm being drawn to these ones. So one for the feminines. Passion, divine feminines, hurrah! I myself have been processing so much over the last number of months. I would say since last October until now, I have been in deep, deep, deep transmutation of karma, all of it. I have started belly laughing in the last few days. Belly laughter for 2-3 days now, since Sunday actually. Absolutely beautiful, and I have been told it's the passion really coming back. It's a good sign. May you all have that as well. I still feel very, very tired, and not like that time frame, but passion is coming back. Divine feminines, how you perceive passion can depend on what lens you view it through. Passion may be associated with lust and temptation, or it may suggest optimistic action, like a fire in your belly or belly laughs. This card encourages celebrating your passions in whatever form they take. It asks you to acknowledge the flame that sits within you. Whether it's a deep conviction, interest, or love, find what stokes your inner fire and embrace the excitement that comes along with it. Like I said, I'm coming through a lot of karmic changes. So if you're newer on the journey and you have not started going through the major karmic balancing that you're starting to see that you're being led to go through, true passion, authentic passion, not lust, is waiting through the portal in your own right, for your own reasons, because of the fire in your own belly. Yes, that is what happens, divine feminine. So again, hurrah for those who are fighting the good fight and experiencing the passion beginning to come back. And what can we see for the masculines? One card for the divine masculines, disruption. In the reverse, but I don't think this one has reversals, so maybe the masculines, divine masculines, are you trying to hold back disruptions? You are peacekeepers, that is nice, but okay. Like this shocking pink color, this card demands attention. It represents intensity, innovation, and non-conformity. It's a catalyst for releasing fear in order to make bold and courageous moves. What is stagnant in your life that needs to change? How can you shake it up a bit? How can you continuously innovate your life in unexpected and productive ways? Wow, continuous innovation, that is so on point with the portal's possibilities, options of being fully realized and navigating on the fly, because you trust yourself and you trust, and those around you you're trustworthy because of those around you, or sorry, those around you can rely on you as being trustworthy. Okay, I'm just gonna I hope any of that reading made sense, and I'm gonna go be silly. Bye.